Otherwise, you will have a situation where if an agenda from the Senate or the reps or any of the other organs is put together and pushed and shoved to the president will not then have an opportunity of taking a second look at it. I don't think that the presidency should be that weak. But I don't think that the presidency should be so strong to the extent that it ignores some of these red herrings.
Because yesterday the Senate President was said to have spoken and reacted to the reactions of the SGF, who said that this was a plan to pull him down. And the Senate President did take very strong exception to the words that were used, saying that the entire Senate could not have been talking rubbish. And they said this was not personal at all. And if you look at the strength, we're talking about the presidential initiative on the Northeast. It's definitely very disturbing that these allegations have been made in connection with the
cutting grass for 200 million and such nonsense.
Well, such matters, as it were, because they also say that has not also reflected in the lives of those who are currently being affected by the crisis in the Northeast.
Mark, where the moral burden is with the president. The press, look, some corrupt presidents maybe can even get away with this. You cannot be standing on integrity. Both of those of us that are in opposition, PDP, we applaud him for his integrity. We take cognizance of the fact that whatever has made Nigerians see Buhari as somebody having integrity, it meant that Buhari had managed himself well over the years. President Buhari cannot now allow some corrupt people to now come and stain his government. If the Senate has done their report, if the Senate President has made very strong comments like he has made, the president has to listen. We are not. What happens if the SGF has even lost his capacity to motivate or inspire people to do anything because they're just saying, "Oh, don't mind him. He's a very corrupt guy. Don't mind him. He's just there trying to take money." What happens when he gives an instruction? People are querying, "What do we even know now? Maybe he wants us to even load it with more money or want us to pad it." These are all issues. I'm not the one who said that. We're not the ones who said the president's anti-corruption drive and effort and bring it to the level where even campaign funds of parties are now causing them to go to jail. We didn't ask him to do that, but now that he has done that, now that the international community has keyed in, now that most Nigerians have started to key in, then he has to then play out the role and he has to act like a president that wants to be taken seriously. Other than that, it will appear as if it's only when the things are about former government officials or former PDP party, that's the only time that they get the stamina to go after these people.
Mr. Sowunmi, let's take it from the perspective of the president saying that corruption is fighting back. Do you see corruption fighting back in any of these instances?
You see, that corruption fighting back is a very, very funny cliche. It's to assume that those who are supposed to carry out responsibilities do not have the enabling power and the will to do so. What does corruption fighting back in? If you have committed a crime, any attempt to even fight back makes you go deeper into the crime that you have been alleged to. Because
the reason I ask this is because if you look at what has happened between the EFCC and the DSS, there is some sort of rivalry, we'll say, between the leadership. Let's take it from when the DSS raided the judge's home, and they said that this was within their purview. That's this constituted a security threat. The EFCC was pretty categorical that this had nothing to do, with security, and there was also the accusation against the EFCC that there had been reports to them and they had done nothing about it, and that's the reason why the DSS had to intervene in this matter. Do you see some sort of rivalry and some sort of is it vendetta?
Just listen to how that sounds. The president is the commander-in-chief. He is the president of the country. These agencies are not outside the appendages of the executive. And you talk about rivalry. Rivalry over what? Whose responsibility is it to tell the people that DSS come in, FCC come in, Chief of Army Staff come in, I want to have an extended security minute. Gentlemen, what the hell is going on here? What do you guys think you're doing? That's the president's responsibility because it's under the executive. It would have been a different thing if the rivalry was like maybe the Senates were having a rivalry issue with DSS. That would be different because there's separation of power. It would have been a different thing if judges get so angry and start throwing every case that DSS brings out. You can say rivalry because they are independent of themselves and they have to protect their own integrity. But when the children or the appendages of the presidency, of the executive, are in petty rivalry with themselves, it means that the commander-in-chief is not paying attention. These are not things. What does it get when they give him the security brief? Should the presidency not have noticed that there is some kind of underpinnings of rivalry between them? How then do you expect them to work together in sync? How then do you expect the agenda of the presidency at corruption and anti-corruption and even some of the internal security related issues, how then do you expect it to work? How then do you expect the Nigerian police to collaborate them if all they're going to be doing is spectral? But you see, I am not surprised. This APC-led government has been extremely ill-prepared for the responsibility it has taken upon itself. We are just magnanimous in offering suggestion and solution and being objective in our analysis. For when the table was turned and we were there, the headlines and all the screaming and all the shouting, they probably would have even said that it was the president that even told the GSS man to go and do what he did. You know, all the kind of funny things they used to say then. But we are bigger than them, we're better than them, we're smarter than them, we're wiser than them, we're more nationalistic than them. Therefore, we're saying the presidency, look at these issues, take the right decisions. If people are corrupt, you're running on anti-corruption, fire them. There are more than enough people in Nigeria that can do the job. The earlier you begin to clean out the corrupt officials within government, the better it will be for everybody, including the agenda of the president. Let's
see if Lagos still has some more questions before we go.
Well, I thought, well, thanks to Sowunmi, because it seems that we should be taking our second guest now, Magu.